Hello, I'm Caroline Pierce, and I am an impact coach or coach and leadership impact partner. I am launching, this is the Ripple Effect podcast, and we're going to be doing an inquiry on the topic of difficult conversations. And it came about because as a coach, on my coaching training, difficult conversations is a thing that we often deal with. We deal with on the training and we deal with in coaching. I coach typically leaders, purpose-driven leaders who want to make a difference in the world across sectors. And what I see that they have in common is they're often squished. Their leadership and all the pressures on them from clients and employees and teams and leadership around all the different pressures that they're managing and they're mitigating for other people, and they take that on themselves. They're typically high achievers who are used to being able to be the one who fixes everything, and it gets to a point when actually it just is compromising themselves. So that doesn't describe everyone that I work with, but often those are the sorts of things that come up. And the topic of difficult conversations came up because very often the leaders that I work with are being kind of the diplomatic middle between lots of different people with lots of different agendas, and having to understand different articulations of similar problems and having to face those conversations or having to suggest those conversations. And sometimes that's with team members, sometimes that's with members of the public. There's all sorts of places. And the more I started to think about it, the more I realized that we're in a world that's becoming increasingly divided. And for me, what I'm seeing is the advent of AI is exacerbating that, because instead of asking a real person or instead of broaching a topic, people are going, oh, I'll just ask my computer, I'll just ask my phone, and that'll give me an answer. And then very often that answer is sometimes literally sycophantic, but often it's very gentle and supportive to the person who's asking the question, unless you specifically say that you want to be challenged, in which case you're sort of ready for it and it's not that difficult. And to get a message from the computer is rarely difficult, but what it's doing is it's discouraging us from asking people and from facing what a human might say. And that's even on like the easiest gentle things. So that the less we're practicing having conversations with unexpected outcomes in any area of life, the harder it's going to be to address things that we know on the face of it are going to be difficult, or that we anticipate that, we project that onto it. And then there are topics where conversations are just not happening, like taboo topics. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought of that meme about when we want to kind of help the world, we need to build more bridges and fewer walls. And it just felt that increasingly, as people can ghost people and that they just disappear, and that's becoming okay, it just felt like the tools we're practicing, the tools we're getting, the tools we're reinforcing are those to build walls, actually. And how can we expect to build bridges and to have our bridges reciprocated when all of the tools in society are being encouraged to be those ones that about building walls? And here's how that actually conflict and aggression are being more normalized, and ignoring and avoiding are being more normalized. And also I was seeing a lot of coaches out there offering, here's a toolkit on how to have a difficult conversation. And I was like, right, okay, this is great. So on my training, we learned about difficult conversations. I came out of it. I found myself having difficult conversations that otherwise I would have avoided, and felt, oh yeah, this is great. I can do difficult conversations now. I felt like this self-congratulatory thing. And it took me a little while to realize that actually, yes, I'd got better at it, but I'm nowhere near an expert. Like, it's not a thing that I'm great at. It's really common that we avoid it. And actually, I hugely can see the benefits of having the difficult conversations, of other people doing it, of me doing it, of me being ready when a difficult conversation comes to me and being able to hold space for that. And I can really see the benefits of my coaching training, but all of my life experience, that when I can do that, the benefits are huge, and they're in multiple levels. And so I felt like that's a thing that I can do. My mission is to help the people that are making a difference in the world. And something that I can genuinely do is go on this inquiry. I can have conversations with people who have tools. I can have conversations with people who work in areas where difficult conversations are necessary, and how they manage that, where that's useful, because that's sometimes you think that you don't realize that you're going into a difficult conversation, and then somebody says something unexpected. So this is a series of conversations, and at this point I don't know how long it's going to be, but the intention is the ripple effect. The intention is for me to learn, for the people that I'm talking to learn, and for anybody who listens or watches to just get a deeper understanding of what a difficult conversation can be, how to do it, how to prepare for it, how to respond if it comes to you, how, when it's not appropriate, ways to prepare ourselves, ways to that we can live more mindfully, potentially, in the way that, so that we can have difficult conversations more easily, or that conversations can be had and avoid becoming difficult. That's another kind of outcome. And I'm recording this at a stage where I have recorded a few. I am so excited to share them. I'm so excited to have some of the conversations that we've got lined up, and to share those, and to see where we can get, how useful this can be, to use the podcast format to talk about difficult conversations, with a view, hopefully, to start modelling some. But in the first instance, it's more about the tools and some stories and some inspirational kind of ideas. And my intention is that it's useful and that it's hopeful, because I genuinely really think that we, by working together, by addressing the unsaid, that we can help to heal the people around us and the world around us. And so thank you so much for your attention. Please send messages, please send questions, please send suggestions of conversations that you think would be useful or interesting or fun around the topic. And I look forward to what's to come. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for joining us on our inquiry into difficult, tricky and brave conversations. Please like and subscribe, and join the conversation over at theripl.substack.com. That's THERIPL.substack.com.